G'day all, welcome back again to Dad vs Son, our playthrough of the Kokoda campaign, this second introductory scenario. And we're about to go on with the last turn. The Australians have lost 17 steps, are at 0 initiative. The Japanese have lost 6 steps. I don't think they've lost any more. No. So they're still on 3 initiative. So let's roll up for the initiative and then we'll go through it all. So Australians are 0 and 3 is 3, and Japanese are 3 and 4 is 7. That's 4 difference, 2 activations for the Japanese. I'll just put this down to start with. Okay, so last turn. It all comes down to this hex here, effectively. Whoever's in control of this hex at the end is the winner. So let's have a look. So Japanese wise, they could attack with this unit. They cannot attack with this unit. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to try and do a recovery on him and a recovery on him. Yes, and that's what we're going to do. So this will be our first activation. So the lieutenant is an 8, which is a 7, so needs a 6 or less. Gets an 8. So if this fails, so he has to pull back. So he's in here. He'll pull back to the jungle there, like that. So he is done. Oops. And now this little fella here is a 9, an 8, so 7 or less, and fails, and he pulls back as well with him, like that. That's their first activation. Dum, dum, dum. Do we jump in and then attack? And I think we've got it. I think we have to. So we're going to activate these guys, and they're going to join the assault. So they're going to come in here. And he is going to join the assault. And these guys get first fire, but only with the disrupted units. So 2, 4, 6. So 2 and 2 is 4, and 2 is 6. Okay. Assault 6, so we're on the 5. No. Attackers have high morale, no. Under-moralized leader, yes. We go up to the 9. And that's it. So we're on the 9. We get a 5 on the 9, which is an M1. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mark them. It's first fire, I don't have to mark them. So we've got an M1. So get their M1 first. So the sergeant is a 9. So that's an 8 or less. Passes. The disrupted guy is a 9, an 8 or less. Passes. And this guy, an 8 or less, and passes. So all done. Righto. So they're firing with 4, 5, 6. Assaulting with 6 is a 5. Okay. They have high morale. They go to 19. They have an undermoralized leader. They go to 13. The Japanese, they go to 18. They get a 5 on the 18, which is an M2. Okie dokie. So everybody in here gets an M2. Right. So the major is a 10, so therefore he becomes an 8 or less. Passes. This lieutenant is a 9, so he is a 7 or less. Passes. This lieutenant is an 8, so that becomes a 6 or less. Passes. Now that's a double 1. A double 1 on a recovery is fixed up. Yeah. No, it's not a recovery. Because nothing happens. Then we've got this leader, who is a 7, a 6, 5, 4. 7, 6, 5, 4 or less. No. Fails by 3 and is deaded. Then to graveyard. It's our 18th loss. Okay, then up here, reduced is a 6, so 5, 4 or less. Gets a 2, so he's good. Same again here, 4 or less. And he is demoralized. And this guy is full strength is a 7, is a 6, 5, 4 or less. And he takes a step loss. And that's our 19th step loss. Oh, gee. Wah, 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 wah. Okay, so these guys are done. So that's their second activation. It's now the Australians' turn to activate. So we will activate these guys to recover. Okay, so Mr. Disrupted Lieutenant is an 8, so he wants a 7 or less. He gets it. This guy here is a 6, plus 1 is 7, so 6 or less. 7 fails. Nothing happens. He only failed by 1. This is a 6, a 5, a 6, so 5 or less. 9, no. He fails big time and has to retreat. He runs away, screaming down the track. And last guy, again, a 6, a 5, a 6, minus 2 is 4 or less, and he runs away as well. Right. And the major is going to run away with them because he's not really doing anything. And these are done. Activated. Right. So that was Australian activation. We're back to a Japanese activation. What do we do? What do we do? Well, we can't get anybody else into there. Suppose we may as well attack into here. Shoot. I see the sense in running in there. So we'll simply fire at 2, 4, 7 on direct fire. 7. We're in jungle. The Australians are in jungle, so down 1. We're adjacent. It's up 2. And I think that's it. That's it. So on the 11. Oh, an 11 on the 11 is an M2. Okay, so these guys are done. Sergeant is a 9, so that's 7 or less passes. Demoralized guy is a 6, a 5. 4 or 3. 3 or less. No. No. And he takes a step loss. Okay, so he's like that, and he's like that, and he's like that, and he goes to the grave. And that's our 20th loss for the Australians. We need to do a leader loss check for a 2 or a 3. A 2, and the sergeant is killed as well. Boom. That's 21 today. And that's it for the Japanese. That's their 3rd activation. We have an Australian activation now. I suppose the only thing we really want to do is this guy here. We'll try and recover him. So again, he is a 6. So it's going to be a 6 or less. And he gets it. Oh, helps if you hit the right key. That's the Australian's 2nd activation. Over to the Japanese. What do they want to do? Well, they don't need to put anybody else into Assault X2. I suppose that's the only thing that really matters, isn't it? So we'll activate these guys to assault. So 4, 8, 12. Assault combat. So they're on the 9. We're in jungles, down 1. They have better morale. So they're up to the 9 again. They've got an undemoralized leader, and the Japanese are on the 18. An 8 on the 18 is an M1. So we're reduced, which is a 6. So 5 or less. We fail, and we are disrupted again. But we get to shoot back for 1. And that's all we've got. We're on the 1. For a 4, we just missed. So that is that. There's nothing else happening there. So we're back to the Australians, who have got nothing to do. No. And the Japanese really can't do anything more. These guys are not going to make any changes to anything, and these guys are not going to make any changes to anything. So what we end up with is Assault Hex 1. We've got a Japanese sergeant and 2 platoons in there, infantry platoons, with 1 disrupted. And we've got 2 lieutenants with a reduced disrupted infantry platoon. So let's have a look. Introductory scenario 2. The Japanese player wins if the village at 0911 is under friendly control at the end of play. Any other result is an Australian victory. Well, it's not under Japanese control because there's still Australians in there. Beaten, batched? Yes, but the Australians win. Just by the hairs on their chinny chin chin. One more turn. Well, maybe, maybe not. 2 more turns and for sure they would win. But no, that's it. Australia won. And I think that's simply because I was a little bit too cautious with the Japanese to start with. I waffled around for a turn or two, I think, with the Japanese, where I could have been a little bit more aggressive, and then we would have gotten into there a turn earlier. So, yeah, that's, I think this would have been an historical outcome with the Japanese in it. But that's the way the game goes, and we did it. So that's that. So I will get rid of this. So as you can see, yeah, not looking good. We've got 1, 2 step losses there for the Australians. 3, 4 step losses there for the Australians. In there, that there, that there. So we've got 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 step losses. Ouch. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 step losses. So 22 to 6. So yeah, 3.5 to 1. Yeah, they chewed us up. But we held on. Ta-da! So again, thanks very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. We'll just call that end. Done. And when we come back, we will do introductory scenario 3, which is the defense of Kokoda. What have the Australians got this? So we've got elements of B and D companies, 39th Infantry Battalion and Papuan Infantry Battalion. And we've got a whole 5 infantry and 5 leaders. No on-board artillery, off-board artillery, and the Japanese will have 6 infantry and 4 engineers, a captain and 3 lieutenants. Better initiative, better morale, and they've got 1 by 8 off-board artillery. Yeah, that should be an interesting one. Probably a little bit quicker, huh? Sorry, how long does that one go for? All that long. Yeah, it's only 7 turns. Oh, but it's at night. We're starting the first turn at 02:30. Oh, dark o'clock. So take care, be good, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.